welcome back again to Prison Architect. What I've just gone and done is I've just gone and loaded our prison that we started last time. I've got it paused. One of the interesting features of this game actually is whenever you save the game, it unpauses it and presses play at a slow pace. So we'll just do that now anyway. And there's a few things I want to discuss from our previous video. One of them being I say however a lot in that video. I wasn't aware of how many times I say however. However, I'm sure that wasn't a massive deal. And then there's also a few things that I said we would talk about and we never got round to. So I'll go through them as we go. One of the main things I was going to discuss was the perimeter fencing. So normally, as I said, you know, I like to put a massive perimeter fence around, but even with 65 grand, I mean, the stuff is crazy expensive. The perimeter fencing to get. Where are we? Materials, perimeter wall, 200 per square. So if you think 200 per single square, so that's 200 bucks. 200 bucks, 200 bucks, 200 bucks. So you think about actually putting that kind of perimeter fence. Maybe if we have a lot of money, you know, towards the end of this, then absolutely we'll start putting perimeter fencing, and maybe even just around certain sections. We can do that. I tend to build my prisons very, you know, inside. You'll see a lot of prisons online. And on various other people's sections where they have maybe this section and then some paths going out to another section of similar size, but I tend to try and keep foundations in all of mine. Just my personal preference and trying to stop people from escaping, really. So yeah, anyway, we'll get into it. One of the first things I want to note is we are on a minus £700 per day cash flow because we are only getting 2,400 in a day, and our money out is 3,100 obviously on wages and the like. So what I'm just quickly going to do is we're going to open up the prison to an intake, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all of the minimum security prisoners, which would be 9, and we'll take a couple of medium ones as well. So our next intake will be, no, can't go anywhere near 27. Why is it only 9 or 27 is my only option? Okay. Let's take 9 then. Oh, that's why. Fill capacity rather than all available. That's what I meant to do. So we'll take 16, but we'll take all, or mainly as minimum security, and a tiny wee bit of medium security, which gives us an alright mix there. I'll do max security and medium security and all the rest as we go. There's actually a wee trick you used to be able to use with this. You used to be able to take a bunch of minimum security guys and before you put them in their cells, change them up to max security, and that would then pay you £1,000 per inmate. Giving you a decent amount per day. Not sure if that trick's kind of still available, but the only difficulty is you then end up with a load of maximum security prisoners, although they have the maybe the, you know, the feelings of a minimum security prisoner. They're in max capacity, which in max security, sorry, which ends up just slightly skewing how they deal with you and all the rest of it. So it kind of you suffer from it later on. So yeah, anyway, so we'll get fill to 16. So 16 at roughly mainly 300. That should solve our daily cash flow problem. So how long have we got until that? I'll tell you at the top left here, 14 hours and 14 minutes. We have 16 arriving at 8 AM, which will give us 6,200. There you go, and that will obviously improve our daily cash flow. So that solves that problem. We also, yeah, so we discussed the perimeter fencing. One of the other things I discussed is that I like to surround my electrical power stations with capacitors. We didn't have a lot of money to begin with. We've got 65 grand now, so we'll just finish that off just to save us having any problems with amount of money available. Now you'll notice that this little red section down here shows you the total amount that it's actually pulling. But all it's supporting is this just now. So there's not going to be a lot of stuff that it's going to support. And we've just gone down 9 grand in capacitors, so that's not a huge deal. So everything is good with that. Looking very dirty, I have to add, but we'll have a look at that as well. Maintenance is one of the things we can unlock. So if we go unlock maintenance, that will allow us to unlock cleaning, which will allow us to unlock cleaners, who will then clean the place. Legal, we want to aim for small cells. However, we need a lawyer to go and investigate that, and he needs an office. So let's have a look. Oh, that's those guys attaching those. I thought it was a taser going off. We don't even have any tasers yet. So we shall hit rooms. We will hit an office. Why can't I find these things ever? Office, thank God. Right, so we'll hit office. We will go for a desk, filing cabinet, etc. So we're getting a chair, a office desk, and a filing cabinet. And that will give us enough for the lawyer, and we will buy 1 lawyer. He's 5 grand. Oh, ouch. And obviously that's put our daily cash flow down as well, and our money. And again, we can only buy so many people per day, so I don't think we're going to have an issue with it just now. I think we've got everyone we need. Yeah, we seem to have everyone we need just now, but we'll obviously get some cleaners and the like once this is finished. We have legal, he just requires an office, which is on its way. So you'll see here we've got green above the ones that we have. Extra grant has been approved, so we can go and get a 3rd grant now. That's great. And we will apply for... ooh, tax relief. Tempting, but I'm not sure we have the money just now, so we'll leave that side. Deployment is done, patrols is done, dogs. Dogs is one thing, then we'll hit surveillance, then we'll hit intelligence, then we'll hit remote access, and we'll hit an armory. Actually, we might need to just... we'll stop these 3 just now and then hit armory after dogs, and hopefully that will work. So we've bought all these, but armory is the first thing he's going to look into. Health we'll also go for. So again, spending a lot of money. As you can see, there's all the things that you have recently bought, and we're down to 32. Okay, so 12 hours until we get one in. Right, so we've done capacitors, that's good. One of the other things I had thought about is, earlier on I mentioned, one of the things I mentioned was the fact you can have a kitchen and canteen as an open space. It is possible, however, one of the things that you sometimes find is that when you have that, they can get into the kitchen and they can get knives a lot quicker in the kitchen. They can find knives a lot quicker in the kitchen than they can in the canteen. So what we are actually going to do is we're going to create a wall in between the two with probably, I don't know what door. Normally I would just do a staff door, but yeah, we'll just do a staff door because that's still at least something. If they do decide to try and get through, not really much I can do about that. I'll have guards in this area anyway, which is something we'll have to do in patrol. Okay, yes, so one of the other things you can do is, now that you have these areas, you can then specify where everyone goes. So you can have your guard patrols, you can have your guards in individual sectors. So let's put one in there. Let's put some doors. Now you see here, I wanted one in the centre, but that's becoming into the chief's office and the thing because they don't have any doors. So let's put some staff doors on these guys just to make sure that they're behind a door of some sort. And then deployment, we'll put 2 in the canteen, 1 in the yard, and 1 in the holding cell. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 assigned there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we actually have all 10 guards assigned to something now. Which is why before, as I said, you really want to, as much as you can do, you really want to keep that you want to complete that grant ASAP. Why is that blocked? Okay, well, it just seems a bit funny as to why. Maybe just a visual glitch, I'm not sure. Right, so let's go look at some grants then, and we can be chucked around by our grants. Okay, so inmate health and well-being. So I need to build a medical ward with 31. Yeah, that should be fine. Get 10 grand in advance, 10 grand to finish. Maintenance is something that I'm in the process of doing, so I'll do that one because we've got 3 grants we can do now. So that's in the process of being done. Take a wee bit of time. Sub B15, not just now. You can also do investment, which is quite good because you get it takes you 5 grand advance payment, but you get 16 on completion. So you only get 11 back, but you get some money back without having to do anything. Actually, we'll just do that. Governmental security ratings. I've not seen that before. 2 armed guards and 2 dogs. Well, we'll come to that eventually. Visitation we'll come to. So we will go for inmate health and well-being. So I've now got my 3 grants. We're back up to a decent amount of money. And once we complete these, we'll have a bit more as well. So we need to create a medical ward. So let's go expando. Foreman requires an office. I forgot about that. So we now need more offices. Problem. Okay. We could just filter in here with another couple of offices and then push this all the way along. Or we could expand down the way. Let's go up the way for offices and we'll narrow this down slightly. Okay, so let's create a corridor. So let's delete this one. We'll create a corridor. So I normally go for 3 wide corridors. Well, let's go for 2 wide because that saves me the problem of. Okay, that's that. Then let's do some of this, and I'll explain this in a second. Okay, so we shall do that, and then we shall go foundations of, not a big deal. Let's see, I've got 4,600. Oh. 46.8. Perfect. Takes down 40 grand. Oh, crap. Did that slightly wrong. Never mind. Well, yes, so we shall build these walls. And then what we can do is we can create some more cells, but they're going to be solitary cells. Which require only to be surrounded. But the beauty of solitary cells is you get a solitary door. And within solitary doors, you then get Did I actually make those in concrete? I did. Okay. So let's go for... Just make the bottom ones for just now as a priority. Okay. So that's them up there felling trees and building sections. But half of these guys will come off and come down and start building here. Okay, that holding cell can actually become a reception now if I want to, but I'll come back to that in a minute because that's not hugely important. Alright, noisy. Okay, so these guys should be building this one, which will allow a corridor up there. That'll allow a corridor up the top for, let's say that one. Let's go for the same down the bottom. So that was 16 up, and however many along, doesn't really matter. Okay, there we go. So it's just going to be the same either side. And they will build that, although this seems to have stopped. Ah, okay, just while they finish these interior walls, that's fine. Ah, yeah, a whole bunch of them on the go. So you'll see we now have solitary cells. Now the bonus of that is that once these guys, if we have any problems with them, and they do become violent, then what you can do is, one of the punishments you can give them is solitary confinement. Obviously you can't give them solitary confinement if you don't have any solitary cells. So now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 solitary cells, which is a good start at least. And once he eventually finishes this door, there we go, we now have 6 solitaries. So we're at 92% for maintenance. We shall go and look at that in a second while these guys build these sections. Although they seem to have... Oh, that's handy. You can do that as a collective piece by... So I've just taken you away from this bottom section. Sorry guys, I'll get you to build that in a minute, but I want you to finish the one you were building initially, which I would have thought they would have done, but never mind. And we're down at £1,300 a day down. But then that should solve slightly by our prisoner intake, which is going to happen in how long? 7 hours. Well, going to lose money up until that point. Anyway, so there will be in the bottom section, we'll probably put a medical ward down there, and psychologist and all the rest of it down there, and they can come into that one. In between these sections, I will put another jail door. Just to give them that. So I put one. Top should, yeah, top one will be offices. So we'll put one to there. Bottom one will be medical wards. So sorry, we'll put one to there as well. And we can build that once I finish this section. Which hopefully... Oh, I forgot to put a door on. There we go. There's a door. Right, which will... requires an entrance, yes, I'm aware of that. Okay, so that's made that a priority. Ah, there we go. So you can now see, this is the job that this guy is coming to do. So he's, I assume, bringing a jail door with him. Yeah, there he goes. Comes and brings... So this is one of the things we mentioned last time, is that you can see each individual guy. Now that guy's installing one down the bottom, but this guy is going to install this jail door, which should open up this top section completely for us, hopefully. Once this one is installed, tick tock, and there we go. So, control and, oh, well, I was going to say control and right click, but I don't need to do that. So let's get some utilities in here. We have power. We'll just stick it out this way, straight down the middle of that one, and water out of there and straight down that one. Okay, where did the... what have we got with regards to electrical? Okay, that's okay. We'll put one in here as well. So let's run it. Let's just run it from this one. Just so they can do that at the same time. And water. We can, let's change this one to, no, let's not change that one to large pipe. Let's just do it this way. Okay, so the reason I didn't change that one to large pipe is because that's going to be in our holding cell. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that when you have a cell or a holding cell, and you have a lot of, you have a bigger pipe in it, it's easier for them to dig underneath. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm quite under the belief that that's why you try and keep, or I try and keep bigger pipes underneath the walls if I can do, or straight down the middle of corridors, etc. Okay, so we have this top section to work in, and we're about to have the bottom section. So the top section was going to be for, now our bureaucracy has gone, we need a maintenance man, that's what it is. So we need to get staff member, foreman. So foreman can go in there, which will also give us, we need to give him a room. So again, we are an office. Why do I always office? There we go. Gee whizzikers, right. An office, which will be 5 by 5, and around said office shall go, or in said office, sorry, shall go a staff door, and shall go an office desk. Let's just do the opposite of this side just for the hell of it. Offset, and then a filing cabinet that way, and then we'll put a wall around it. You'll notice I've gone away from using the brick there. Kind of probably should have kept with it here. If I'd really patched out the design, I'd had a better idea of where it was going to go and everything. But one of those things, not a big deal. Hire foreman, so unlock groundskeeping and cleaning. So we'll go for cleaning, then groundskeeping. Yeah, he'll be able to get one in a second. Legal is doing small cells, which is good. Health is still being done. Armory now, maybe? Yes, so armory is now being done, that's fine. And then after that, we're not too bothered about intelligence and surveillance and remote access. We'll get them all eventually, because we've bought them already. Psychology, I believe I do need for one of my grants. So, psychologist requires an office, right? So we'll do psychology and all the rest of it down the bottom here. Now nothing can be done until I give this guy a jail door, because it requires an entrance. And they're almost finished most of that, so that's good. Utilities, yeah, they're pretty much finished that. Although they haven't done this section, but never mind. We'll get to that. And this one again, because the capacitors, you can see, is running a very low power rate, so that's good. Oh, they've got a lot of pipe to do here, though. Okay. Not to worry, not to worry. Let's make all of this a priority just now, just so we can get all this done. Because this man requires an office. Ha! And there's the bottom section done for that. That's good. Right. So hire at least 2 janitors, which we can't do until cleaning is done, but he can't do it until he's got an office. I had a gardener, which I cannot do until that is done. Okay. Short-term investment, we're still waiting on that. Inmate health and well-being. So medical ward in the bottom here. So let's go for, we'll put them, so you have a medical ward, but you also have a morgue. And I like to put a direct outside door to the morgue, which I think must be in this section. Morgue. Okay, so I still require health, which is not done. Ah, it's almost done, that's fine. Does that mean I also can't build a... I can't build an infirmary until that's finished. Oh, okay, right, okay. Well, we can't do that just now, then we'll wait for... there we go, that's good. That's that one. He requires an office, and he's got an office, finally. So in his dark office, he will do a whole bunch of stuff, but does that mean that they haven't put in... Yes, no lighting as of yet, because none of that's been complete. Okay. That one's complete though. Okay, so they'll be on that, and they'll be on the lighting just now. Yep, they are. That's good. Okay. Okay, so things going fairly well there. What else do we have to do? Just in the meantime, I also want to add some stuff into the staff room, because there's no door in it, firstly, which means that theory prisoners can walk straight in. So we'll put a staff door on that, and then what we'll also do is we'll give them some more. We've only got 16 grand, so we'll not give them too much. Give them another couple of sofas, and maybe radio in this corner, and an arcade machine. Ooh, $500. We'll still do it. Give them a couple of arcade machines, why not? And a pool table. Where's the pool table? I'm sure there's a pool table somewhere. There we go. Don't know how I can find that. There we go. Down to 13 grand. Okay, so we need to keep some money for doctors and wards. Let's buy... Can't buy doctors until we have health, which is an hour. Okay. Almost there, almost there. Oh, an hour and a half, okay. Right. So do that. Right, and that's just a case of waiting for a wee bit now. So let's just fast forward for a bit. We're on 5 AM on day 4. Oh yeah, in 2 hours we'll get some prisoners in, so that's good. However, it also means that it's more difficult to build during that time, as we've kind of explained before. Now you'll notice here, what happened is I built this little room while they were making this section for utilities. Oh, that's part of the reason. They are missing one link. And once that guy finishes that, I assume he's not gonna... okay, he's not gonna finish that, right? Okay. Please tell me that there's actually one meant to be going in there. Okay. Seem to have missed that one out. But what we're also just going to have to quickly do is we're going to have to connect it up, because I've put walls around it, these cables don't filter out from it. So those guys will come in. We've got 2 hours until that. Yeah, so that was all flashing reds to warn me I have less than 2 hours until our prisoners are coming in. Cleaning's on its way. Then I'll have to unlock groundskeeping after that, and that'll get me only 5 grand. Oh no, I still have to hire 2 janitors and a gardener, so that'll probably get me no money basically. And the medical ward is the next one. Okay, right, so how long until... Ah, there, perfect timing, good stuff. So health, as you can see here, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, done minutes. Come on, there we go, tinkle tinkle. That means that's finished. So we can now build a medical ward, and we will also make a morgue, but I don't want to worry too much about that. Let's just say that's going to be the size of the morgue. Put some planning around it for just now, and we'll put a door around that, but in the meantime, not too worried about that. Rooms, an infirmary. Let's make the infirmary this kind of size. Okay. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Let's do that. There we go. Planning, walls, infirmary plus walls. Then we will have some psychologists in here. Now we need, it does say hire a psychologist. However, what we actually need is we need more than one. Quite often, you will when you're making a psychologist office, you'll make one because that's what it needs, and then the next thing you know, you've got just make that one a longer one at the end. That big horn was to let me know that something. I thought that was my prisoners arriving, but it was not. That might be just an hour till my prisoners are arriving. So, basically, yeah, as I was trying to say, the sections, yeah, so to complete this grant, you need to build just one psychologist office, which is great, to hire a psychologist. However, what you then find out is that in the process of doing that, that you will actually need, if you need to do any, you can do like reform sections on this, which we'll come to later on. Maybe in this video, maybe in the next. If you want to do reform sections, then that will require a psychologist per person that you want to have on this reform course. So quite often you'll need 4 or 5 psychologist offices. So this is the first time in a long time I've actually remembered to build them in advance, which is good. So within our infirmary we need a medical bed. That's all we need to complete this. So we'll just do the one for just now, and again we can filter that out as we go. And we'll put some walls up just to put some of these walls up just to give us an actual infirmary in there. However, we're down to 12 grand, so we don't want to go too crazy with it. We will need to do one office, and we also need to hire the staff as well. Now, where are we going to be with that actually? 2 janitors and a gardener to complete that is only going to give us 5 grand. So let's say 2 doctors and a psychologist. 2 doctors and a psychologist, which I can't get yet because it requires psychology. Okay, forgot to do that. Should have done that earlier, but yeah, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Again, infirmaries, morgues, these areas, bad for being able to find knives, or maybe not necessarily knives, but certainly needles. That's what I was looking for, needles. And with the needles, one of the things that they... Now see, this is the issue now that we have prisoners who have arrived, have they? Or are they arriving? Here we go. So we have deliveries, and here is the prisoner bus. So because these guys are arriving, now we have this issue that creates around building, around workmen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lock that door open and lock that door open and lock... Oh, no, I don't want to dump it. Lock that door open, because what I can do is that I'm happy for my prisoners to get into the infirmary if they need to. You know, it's not a massive deal for them to get in here just now. But while these guys are building, that's the main path. What will happen though is that these guys will all go into a holding cell and come in here. One of the things I've also noticed, and I forgot about, is that when you have everybody deployed to something, for example, like so, there will be no one to go and pick up your prisoners from outside and bring them in. So this guy I have just undeployed from the yard, and he will go and pick up individual prisoners, and as you can see, he'll take them in, and I imagine that will probably, this guy will go straight into the holding cell to begin with. And he's using his keys. He'll... Oh, no, he's not going into the holding cell at all. Okay. So it's just he's in that case, I'm guessing he's just going to go straight through to a cell. This person's called Stacy. Stephen Stacy. Voyeurism and perjury. Well, there you go. So his girlfriend's 19, he's 19. No, that's a shame. Mother was only 20 when he had him. Father, a bit older. Not guilty for voyeurism and not guilty for perjury, but done for them both. And then he goes into his cell. So he has served 1 year. He's got 6 years total. So this is the funny thing, is you can get a lot of detail on each one of these guys. Biography, his character, that'll come up a bit more once we have once he's been in here for a while. He's currently in an activity of lockdown. His mood is probably going to eventually go from normal to good for just now, but that'll change quite quickly. And again, as to all the different gradings for him. His estimated reoffending chance 44%. So again, the rehabilitation sections and stuff like that can be very, very interesting because you can actually bring that number down occasionally, providing you get the right people. So up here is the foreman's office, which will also be the... do we have anything? No, that's for additional space for more offices if we need them. And you can see here, just with having the one guard in there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to take this guy off patrol for just now. This guy off patrol for just now, and that will allow me to... Oh, no, that guy's going to... There we go. He should now go out, I believe, and pick up more prisoners, hopefully. And he looks like he's gonna. Okay. So what did we just complete? We completed... Ah, there we go. So we have completed cleaning. So cleaning is now complete, which is good, and groundskeeping is on its way. As part of that, we also need to hire 2 janitors and a gardener. So we should now have the option to have 2 janitors who will now go and clean, thankfully, because this place is minging. And very nicely, this guy's going to clean up all the way around here while this guy just stands and waits at the door. There's your 2 different types of people in the world. I'm only going to do my job, and let's do this job while we have the chance. So yeah, that's all these mucky paw prints and footprints will be improved on. And as you can see, these guys will be going to various cells. So that's going well. We're at capacity, so that's not going to change. That will be going, and then once we get groundskeeping, we can get gardener, and that will get our 5 grand there. Still waiting another 58 hours for a short-term investment. Need to hire a psychologist. So this will be the psychologist's office, which we still haven't fixed yet. So how long till psychology is ready? Oh, another 3 hours. Okay. So we're going well with that. We just need to... does he have... Yeah, he's got light, so that's fine. Objects. Back to the billionth time of making... Now, one of the other things that you can do about these is you can actually do quick builds. On the quick build section, you can take a luxury cell, solitary cell, whatever it be, and you can also use the clone tool. Now, the clone tool is incredibly handy. If I want to just clone this entire section here, I can clone one of these rooms. I can't remember exactly how to use it, but queue up a construction, left click somewhere else. So when the clone tool selected, hold the right mouse button and drag the area. So I could actually just clone that and make that an office down here if I wanted to. Now, with that being the case, it's not something I want to do because actually it's slightly more back to front. You know, I'm slightly changing it, but generally speaking, it's primarily, in fact, what I could do is I could actually clone the internal section. Quick build, clone, I could take just the internal bits only, and I could stick them in there. And you can see what that's done is that's just taken the internals only. It's taken a chair, a desk, and a filing cabinet and plunked them in there. So we will also give that a staff door again, and that can be built as we go. So how are we doing for these guys? Okay, so psychologist will be the amount. Now we're only on 286 quid positive cash flow, but that's obviously a bonus. You know, that means we're actually earning money now. But still, the main way is to earn the money with grants, you know, until we can get this up to a much more positive number. To do that, I need to build more cells, which is going to cost me more money, and it's going to bring my cash flow probably down to begin with, but then, you know, further up. And you can see here that currently my guards are maxed out, so there are 10 regular guards, 4 are stationed, 4 are patrolling, and 2 are doing jobs. The 2 doing jobs are obviously the ones bringing the prisoners in. But once they have that, that'll come out to 2 of 10 because they will not be actually doing specific jobs at that time. So where are we at here? We've got medical ward, 2 doctors. We just need a psychologist office, which is going to be this one. And once that unlocks in 2 hours and 11 minutes, we can hire a psychologist, which is going to cost us $1,200 per day. So that's going to basically take our cash flow down to nothing again. However, we will get 10 grand for that. So let's just speed this up in the meantime. What we can get everybody inside. Let's see how our cleaner's doing. Okay, they're now locked inside. So let's just lock that door open. That gets them out, and then I can actually, I can just undo that and it'll automatically go back to where it was. But you can see here that, you know, they go through staff doors by themselves, no problem. Cleaning the warden's office, the man clearly knows what he should be doing, good man. And then they'll just go in. So it's actually quite cool. You get to, you know, there's quite a difference visually when places are clean. Let's just open this for them. You don't have to do this this way, but it just makes it a bit handier because then they don't stand at doors doing nothing. If you have guards that are not doing particular jobs, as I said, this guy's resting because he's done so many jobs, I'm guessing. And obviously if you have staff doors they can get through them, but you know, your guys can't. Now again, notice these guys are all eating, so what we're going to do is quite a few are not able to eat, so we shall just create another bench and another table for them just so that there's no affecting. See, now everyone's stuck here, so let's open that door. Nothing in the yard for them to do, so they're probably going to get a bit mad fairly quickly. I have to say I'm not particularly pleased with the position of that yard. We're going to have to move that yard outdoors, so we'll move it into here. So let's say we're going to plant some walls. This is all going to be a yard eventually, so we'll make this entirely a yard, sorry. But that'll be probably for everybody. We can create these kind of individual cell blocks as we go. So we now have one guard who's available because seconds here. Now let's slow that back down again. Where are we at? Psychology has been approved. Fantastic. Staff members, psychologist. Ta-ting. Grant completion 10 grand. Okay. And it opens up another one. So there's our psychologist's office. The infirmary's in here. We can work these out later. I'm not too bothered about them just now. Yard needs to be improved for these 16 guys. What else needs? Hire a gardener. Have we finished that bit yet? Oh, we have. Excellent. So we can hire a gardener too, hopefully. And we've only got one, and we've completed that too. Okay. So we still have short-term investment on, but now we can go and get 2 more grants. So let's have a look. Assigning prisoners, and we'll work on that later. Visitation. Yeah, we could work on that. How much is it? 5 and 5. Not great. Ah, okay, this is perfect. So this is 15 grand advance payment and a 15 grand completion for not actually doing anything. Oh no, it is, sorry. Ah, well, we might as well get into it. Right, let's get this one. We'll come back and decide on our third one in a wee bit. But in the meantime, we'll work on that and we'll work on the yard. So that's given us a wee bit, 44 grand, a bit better money. So let us create some concrete walls around here and here. We'll leave a gap just to allow them to get through just now. And they will make that. Within the yard, we can then put in a whole bunch of weights benches, which they seem to like for some reason. And then we can put in... Right, we'll leave that for just now. We'll do some security stuff. So 2 dog handlers. So now what we need to do is we need to do some security offices. Let's see. Rooms. Security. So let's make a big security office in here. And I will explain the reason for security office being very much bigger in there in a minute. We shall put kennel, and we shall put Can't quite have that big, not that big. I'll have to have it long. Okay, security, kennel, armory, that should be okay, I think. We shall put... no. Not quite. Okay, so the reason I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to just have them opposite each other and that opposite each other. So now what this allows me to do is, within security you need all this standard silly stuff, office desk and all the rest of it, but actually they're not of any use whatsoever. They're purely because they're offices. So I try and kind of sneak them all together in one corner, and that will tick off a security as being complete. However, when you have security and you have intelligence, surveillance and remote access and all these things, these actually need to have areas in which to control them. So you'll see here CCTV monitor, door control system, phone taps. These three things will be in the security office eventually. However, they can't go in just now because I don't have the security unlocked for them. Dogs, however, are already, and at $100 each, they are a steal. So what we shall do is we shall put a whole bundle of doggy woggies in the kennels, and that's given us enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 dogs that I can now assign to patrol. The armory, the only way to get armed guards. So again, this grant doesn't quite walk you through the systems and how much you're going to need to spend, but it does clearly need these things to complete them. You can't have an armoured officer without having an armory. You can't have a dog officer without having a kennel. So that's fairly obvious. The armory. So the armory will be weapons racks, guard lockers, and tables. So the table's always the thing I always forget. So let's put that in first. Let's just put one either side. Then we need guard lockers. We'll just put in, these are kind of expensive, so we'll just put in some for just now. We can add to that later. And then it's the weapons racks that are the big pricey one here. So that's $8 just on weapons racks. Now, obviously I'm leaving myself more space to add more weapons racks and all the rest of it. But you see the price cost in all of that. It's probably been nigh on $15, if not more. Now you look there, that's 9.6 just in the weapons racks, not including anything else. So it's definitely something that that could have been an issue. And it's, you know, it's not walking you through each individual section of the grant as you need it. Interestingly, 2 pieces of wall have not gone in. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Prioritise them. Let's prioritise 1 gun locker and 1 staff locker and 1 gun, so then we can assign 2 dog handlers and 2 armed guards. Sorry, okay, so let's do 2 of each. And then I'm not sure how many gun racks you actually need per officer. Now let's see if that's something that's said here. I don't think you need 1 per officer, but that would be interesting to see if I just fill this now with guard lockers, will that change anything? Not sure. Right. Kennels. Why is that? Ah, because it's not enclosed. Okay, so we'll put a staff door on that. And we'll put that as a priority as well. And then that should give us 2 dog handlers and 2 armed guards. Again, we now have to buy these guys too. So, 2 dog handlers, 2 armed guards, Yes, that was 1,500 per armed guard. Now we're still... okay, so we're still getting a decent amount of money. I'm not entirely sure how I managed that, but okay, that's fine. We'll come back to finance in a bit. That's good to see our dogs are sleeping. Now, what I just quickly like to do now, where are we at? We're at 1 AM. That's absolutely perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it at this point. We discussed in the last episode shakedown being one of the things that we like to do when people are there. The best time to do shakedown is between 12 o'clock and something else in the morning. 12 and 4, 12 and 5 in the morning. The reason for that is it gives you enough time to do all the searches, but more importantly, it gives you the time when the prisoners are asleep and not hiding anything. So you can generally get your shakedowns done more effectively. The only problem with this is that they hate being woken up at stupid o'clock in the morning, so you will raise how much they are frustrated by this. However, at this point, my danger is non-existent. And because my danger is non-existent, this bar will fill up. And when it does, then you've got problems and you can't really do shakedowns so much so if it's in the total red bar, because you'll annoy them so much you'll start a riot. However, at this point, we're actually okay to do that. So let's press play and then let's do a shakedown. So you'll see now that all these prisoners have now become, however, all the staff are now involved in searching. So this guy's been gotten up out of his bed. They're going to have a look, see if there's anything in his sink, anything like that. Now see, he's mad because he needs alcohol. So you'll probably find alcohol somewhere in his cell, I would imagine. Oh no, he's back to sleep, so maybe not. Ah, there we go, a hammer. So we have found a hammer, interestingly. Where do we find a hammer? Okay, we found a hammer in the kitchen, which is a bit of a strange place to find a hammer, but okay. And you actually can get an achievement, a grant for finding, where is it? Is it this one? No. So there's a section, Crackdown on Drugs, there you go. So you can find 10 illegal narcotics and that'll give you a 15,000 completion bonus. Can't do that until we have 30 prisoners, etc. But, you know, these things are certainly things we can look into. So it's good. Oh, and there we go. We have found some booze. So that's always good. We've actually done not bad in where we're actually looking at here. Although all of our, again, you see that all of your guards are now have an issue because they all have to look, they're all busy now. So we'll have to look into more guards as well. Again, more money. So you'll see now I've got one exclamation mark that's moving up the way because of the fact that now someone got solitary confinement. This guy, what did he do? So we gave him solitary because we found something on his person, probably. That's probably the guy who had the booze, I'm guessing. I can never remember exactly how you find it, but you can find out why he got it. And we've only got 2 more places to search, and we should be good. 56 and 57. Come on. Come on. Where's the last place? Okay. It's what? It's a stack. Oh, it's a stack outside in a tree. Or not in a tree, but next to the tree. And he is searching. There we go. Done. So that is one of those done. Now, why is this not... Is this because these guys are in the way? Okay, so let's deploy these guys to some searches. So now what we can do is we can have dog patrols. So I'm going to put 1 dog patrol there, and I'm going to put 1 dog patrol there. So that gives me my 2 dogs on patrol, which ticks off this list. And then 2 armed guards to patrol, so let's put 1 of them in here. And let's just put 1 of them in here for just now. That's fine for just now. Okay. So we now have guys on patrol, which is good, but it means that there's not really anyone available, but that's not a big deal. This is still failed, enclosed by... It is enclosed by walls and doors. That's confusing. Okay, so let's just see if this is a problem. Well, let's not lock that open. Let's let that close. Is that... No, it does not solve a problem. Not sure why this is doing that. I'm wondering if it's the mix of brick and concrete. So what we're going to do is going to demolish these walls here, and then we will reconstruct them in concrete. If those guys could do that during the night, that would be very helpful. Now what we can do is reconstruct them very quickly, hopefully. Overnight, guys, thank you. Hopefully that shall fix our kennel problem. And of course it's not. Okay, right. Okay, so let's just take that back down to normal. And in the meantime we will get these boxes. Why can't I get that box picked up? Right, let's just dump these for just now. See if that fixes our issues. Right. Oh dear. That's meant to be in there. For some peculiar reason it is not. So you'll see this guy, because he's not busy doing anything, can now go and open this door for these guys. These guys will get stuck again. Let's lock that open for just now. See if picking up these boxes will solve anything. Now the reason I was dismantling those is I want to dog crate. I want to just switch them round because they were the wrong way round. And you can't actually switch them round. Okay. That's fine. You can hear the dog snoring, which is quite funny. Okay, strange one. 5 by 5. It is 5 by 5. Why is it not enclosed? Oh, I'm gonna spend all day on worrying about that, so let's just ignore that one. We'll figure that out later. This room is now not... Ah, there's no prisoners assigned to eat at this canteen. It's not a canteen. Okay. Guess we're having some issues. So, I will save this just now. And we shall carry on. Right. Anyway, where was I? Ah, we seem to have fixed everything here with regards to these. So, what are we missing now? Intelligence is on its way, surveillance is finished. Prison policy, I'll come to that in a second. I want to talk about prison policy actually in a second. We'll go over that. The other thing I want to look at is metal detectors. We now have 37 grand. Let's start looking at some metal detectors. So, there's certain areas that are bad for having issues with metal detectors. We'll come to these in a bit. These are the security tag sections. Metal detector. Now, one of the things, as I said before, is the infirmary is always quite bad at metal detectors, so we're going to start putting some of these in. Now, we've only got 35, so I don't want to go crazy with it, but coming out of the kitchen, or the canteen, and coming out of the infirmary, anytime either of those happen, you nearly always have issues. Now, oh, we still haven't finished our yard. Jeez, we'll have to get back to that. The other thing that these need, though, however, is they need power. So we'll just power them up like so, and like so. So those will be powered just now by these guys who are going to bring in some metal detectors to install, which is very nice of them. And just overnight, these guys will wake up at 6 in the morning to go get some food, and then suddenly realise that there's issues. Now, because of that, we need to figure out this yard ASAP. Now, what else do I need to put in this yard? So we've got some workout benches. Will that do for just now? What do you normally have in a yard? Secure behind at least one door. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So the first thing I want to do is I want to finish the wall. And then once that one's done, let's make that priority. Once that's done, I can then create what can I create? I can create a door from the cells down the way, but only once this one's finished, because otherwise you create a door down the way and the next thing you know, you got issues. So we'll go back up to security in a minute, once we've fixed this. Where is he? Oh, he's slow. Right, come on. Speed up, you. That did not really speed him up. Okay. Okay, he's now going to get himself stuck inside, no doubt. That's what they normally do. Yep, there he goes, stuck inside. And we'll put a jail door here. And this will become our new yard. Let's make that door a priority. Oh, funnily enough, he magically has a jail door with him too. That's good. Means he can get out though, that's a bonus. Someone else doesn't have to come and bring him out. So fit that jail door. And now we can have that. So let's just leave that open. Now let's get rid of this yard. And that can now be an office if we need it to. Which we don't have one spare. Well, we don't need one spare currently, but that could be quite handy. Okay, so visitation. Wouldn't mind doing that in a wee bit, but I think we need to get more guys in. And I can say guys because I chose males only. Let's see. Increase the size of your security force. No, let's go for this one. This is big. Big money. So increase the size of your security force. Okay. Let's say. No, staff. Let's go for guard. Okay, that gives me not a lot of percentage towards. That doesn't either. Okay, that doesn't at all. Right, okay. Okay, down 162, but we got that ticked. Unlock body armor through bureaucracy. Body armor it goes. Then we'll do tasers as well. Yep. Do we have a chief of security? Yes, we do. Okay, so he should be doing that just now. Is he? No, because he's busy. Okay, he's still finishing intelligence. That's fine, that's not a problem. He'll then do body armor and tasers in order, I assume. That's almost finished. That's fine. CCTV monitor. So we need to have a CCTV monitor. So this is one of the things I was discussing earlier. So there's a CCTV monitor. Is that the right way around? So the dots at the top. Ah, yeah, okay, that's fine. It was the right way around. Door control and a phone tap. So those three are very important ones. So let's just put chairs in front of those as well. Interestingly, we have a lot of complaints. 5 have been unnecessarily searched. Well, these things happen. So here's the yard. And we have done security. We need to, once these are installed, we need to put up some CCTV cameras. So let's just put them up just now, because we have. Let's see. So I think the big open one is the bigger one. So interesting that these guys are setting off the alarms. Or maybe they're just getting checked by them, not sure. So let's put one here. Let's put one there. Let's put one in the infirmary. And one there. And one there. Okay, so that's a whole bunch of them. Oh, 83%, jeez. Got to add more CCTV cameras. Funnily enough, you do have to connect these up, but while this is in place, to get these CCTV, to get the correct application, I've actually ticked them all off, even though they're not connected. And they've not even been installed. So once they get installed, as these guys are off to do, we then have to connect them up to this security monitor, which also doesn't have any power. So this is part of the issue, is you end up jumping, you know, from section to section, just, you know, trying to fix kind of problems here and there. Let's see, have we got issues? Not really there. Okay. Okay. We do have only 16. Ah, okay, so these guys are now going out into here, which is good. A whole bunch of them you can see using the weightlifting section. Well, this guy goes off to install where? Where are you going? Oh, this one. Okay. Right, well, we've got 35. Oh, a lot of people real mad. Not sure why. Serious complaints. Okay, well, these things happen. So, utilities. Connect. CCTV. 1, 2. So that is now in a loop. That is now connected. 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 For some reason it sounds like Darth Vader. Not sure why. Back. And out. And back. And out. And back. And out. And back. Right, is that all of them? Oh, no, there's another one here. And out. And back. Inactive. Inactive. Why are they inactive? Are they the wrong way round? They might very well be. No, shouldn't be. Not sure why these guys are inactive. We'll have to figure that out later. Oh, I have no power. Is that another thing? Yes, power is another thing. Jeez, okay. Electrical cable. Okay. Well, that'll do for just now. Okay, so yeah, we're getting somewhere. We're back to 162 down, so we need to build more cells. But do you know what? People are mad. Not sure why they're so mad. Let's give them a bit of space, a bit of time, see if that calms down at all. And the CCTV monitors fixed themselves, which is good. These guys are fixing all these sections. Oh, we've got a fight. Where's our fight going down? Too dangerous. Okay. People are mad. Family. Okay, so they desperately want family. That's fine. Let's look into family then. We can look into some of that because I'm such a cruel guy. Don't let them have family. I think what we'll do is we'll save here for just now. We've obviously got our body armor and tasers just about to come through. That'll get us our 20 grand. Should get us 54, sorry. And then after that, what we can do is we can go look into family, which will be visitation rights. We can build a visitation room, which I'll probably put somewhere around here, meaning they have to access it through the infirmary. But yeah, yeah, we'll go for that. And yeah, if you have any questions, by all means, do send them through. Actually, I had a question from a friend recently, asking about this, and was asking about my favourite moments so far in the game. And I have to say that I really enjoyed building a prison, and then after I build a prison, then trying to escape from the same prison. There's one prison I took, I think, 2 days worth of constant trying to escape from, and I managed to finally escape from it and got all my friends killed in the process. But it's good fun. It's something very different. There's a few things that I missed out on. We were going to talk about prison policy. I didn't manage to get round to that. I'll get round to that in the next episode. But by all means, if you guys have any questions, stick them in the comments below, and we shall have a look at that. Oh, interestingly, you'll see that prisoner just went through the metal detector and got searched, or is now being searched because of something going off. And as it turns out, he didn't have anything on him, so that's actually a good thing, because that means I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, anyway, we shall stop this where we are just now, and if you have any more questions or anything, by all means, stick them in the comments below. Any comments, questions, anything, and I'll try and answer them in my next video. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers, bye bye.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?